All right, so you guys, Monday we did a separate set of exercise. Today we're gonna do something totally different. We won't require, well, it won't require weight for today's class. When we get to our strength part, it'll be a lot of isometric contraction, a lot of range of motion that involves just the body itself. So first we'll get into our warm up. It's getting a bit chilly out, so we got to warm up. Okay, so we're going to start with our neck stretch. So we'll place our hand on our shoulder if we can. Again, if not, you can just lower your hands down by your side, lean your head over to the opposite side of the trap or side of the neck that you want to stretch. Okay, or you can take your hand and pull it behind your back. Okay. Hold this for a few seconds. And then breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, or if you can, in through the nose, out through the nose. Nice deep breathing. Okay, whatever angle works for you. Doesn't have to be all the way over to the shoulder. Can just be halfway. You want to lean until you feel a good stretch. And then we'll return center and then switch sides. Okay, same thing. If you can't get the hand to the shoulder, perfectly fine. Just lean the head over to the opposite shoulder, or take the hand, place it behind your back, and then lean your head over to the opposite side. Okay, or if you need a boost, lift that hand up, that arm up from the elbow, place it on the shoulder. If your weaker side is strong enough to hold on to that shoulder. Okay, we want to make it as easy as possible for ourselves so that we get maximum stretch. Nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose, or in through the nose, out through the mouth. And return center and relax. Okay, then we'll start with our side body stretch. Okay, there's a different variations that we can do with the side body stretch. Again, you choose which one you want to do. So I'll go through a couple of the variations first, and then you can decide which one works best for you. So the first one, you can interlock your hands, whichever way is comfortable. You can go fingers or you can go overhand. Then you raise your hands up above your head and you go side to side. Okay, we're holding just for a few seconds to get a good stretch. Okay. That's one. Or you can go no hands, lean over, go side to side. Really just trying to create a C as you lean over to the side. Okay, for all you Cards or Cats fans here in the Bluegrass State. Okay, or no hands, your hands will be down by your side. And again, you're just trying to create a nice C. Think about our good old childhood days. I'm a little teapot, you know, short and style. Here is my handle. Then tip me over and pour me out. So that's kind of what you're doing. Tipping yourself over, pouring yourself out. You got a spout and a handle. All right, and then relax, turn center. Okay, then we'll do our cat-cow. Turn to the side so you guys see my spine or my back work. Okay, want to make sure our feet are planted firmly on the floor underneath us. If that requires you to slide to the front of the chair, please do so. But if you are okay with sitting in the middle of the chair, and having your feet flat on the floor. Since my legs are a little shorter, I gotta slide to the edge. So we'll start with creating a C or a curve in our spine. Okay. And then we're going to push down, arc down like we're doing a crunch. Okay. As we crunch down, we'll allow our chin to come down to our chest just a little bit. And then as we create a curve, we'll allow our head to kind of move back just a little bit. It's not a lot. Okay. We're trying to get all movement in every segment of the spine. So with my head moving, I'm engaging my cervical spine. Okay. And then from there, my thoracic spine, so my shoulders. So here, when my head goes back, I'm pulling my shoulders back. And then as they come forward, I'm kind of rounding them forward. Okay. I'm just moving back and forth out of this movement. And then to the lumbar spine is where that curve comes in, like we're creating a saddle for our back for the cat cow. And then frisky cat, we're creating another C here, like we're doing a crunch to get the movement in our lumbar spine. And don't forget to breathe. So when we add our breathing here, we exhale. We inhale, my bad. Inhale up here, exhale coming down. Because we're crunching down, engaging our core as we come down. Inhale, get some good air. Exhale, come down. Inhale, exhale. And really take note of how your body feels right now, your tense spots, because we'll do a check-in toward the end. See how you guys feel after we get done with all of our exercise. And relax. Okay, then we're going to do our torso rotation. So torso rotation, we're, no, mama. So our torso rotation is going to go side to side, like we're looking both directions. Okay, now you can have your hands to the side, just touching the sides of your thighs. Or if you want to try to get a deeper stretch, you can lift the elbows and try to touch your elbows to the back of your chair if you have one. Exhaling with each rotation. Okay. Inhale as you come center. Exhale as you rotate and look. Not trying to move too fast. It's just warming up the spine, warming up our movements, getting our body prepared. Good job. And return center, relax. Can shake that out. Take note of how you feel. Okay, then we'll do our knee ups. Okay, so you can lift your knees up by themselves, and I have on, I love all black. I'm sorry if you guys can't see my legs. I'll turn and see if we can get some contrast here. So we're lifting our knees up, or you can assist and pick the knee up if you have the ability to. Okay, doesn't have to be high. It can just be a little bit to where the foot kind of gets off the floor. Okay, just trying to engage the hip flexors a little bit. Okay. Let's do a few more here. And relax, turn center. Then we're going to get our arms pumping, our legs moving if possible. Okay, so I'll go through a couple variations and then we'll get into the boogie. Okay, so you can just pump your arms as if you're running, okay, here, or you can pump your arms and add the march to it, making it feel like you're a little bit more in band. Okay, again, you choose which one works for you. Those are our two options that we have. Okay, so we'll go ahead and begin if you haven't already. And pump, 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 pump. So really trying to get body moving. So we have to use our core to control our movement. Okay. Can get those legs involved as well to make it more of a big movement, getting more muscles involved. Again, whichever you prefer. This is similar to jogging, okay? See all the joggers, the Baywatch people, slow motions. Yes. But we want to speed it up. Trying to go fast as we can, as quickly as we can, as you can, what's perfect for you, okay? 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay, shake it out, take a couple deep breaths, and then we'll get into our cardio. Okay, so with our cardio, we're going to do our chair jacks. Okay, again, we have different variations here, so I'll go through a couple of the different variations before I get the time started. Okay, so you can go with just the arms above head. Okay, that's one variation. We can bring our hands down and go to our shoulders. This is a different variation. So our hands just go to the top of our head and back down. Or we can just lift our elbows up like we're flapping our wings. Okay. And then if you want to get a little bit more funky to it, you can add the legs to it as well and step out. Oh, here we go with contrast. Okay, so you can step the leg out to the side as you move your arms with either of the movements. There we go. Okay, so stepping the legs out as we move the arms. Okay, and here we go. And keep going, keep going, keep going. If you've already started, pump and dump. Okay, get those arms moving. Or another variation I forgot is that we can lift, buddy lift, and then one arm. Buddy lift, and then switch to our strong arm. Go to our weaker side and go lift it up, give it a boost, and then switch. Okay, just trying to stretch it out. Okay, again, making it easy on yourself. 3, 2, 1, and stop. Awesome job. All right, now we're gonna go to our skaters. Okay, our skaters is, there's 3 different variations we can do. We can row, okay, going side to side like a paddle boat. Or you can separate the hands, pull down like you're skiing, downhill skiing, okay? Or you can punch to the side, and as you go to the side, you're extending the leg out, okay? Punching to the side, whichever variation you feel comfortable with. All right, and begin. So we can punch to the side as if we're speed skaters. Now, skaters really extend their arms as if they're punching side to side. Okay, we can pedal our boat, rowing. Or we can separate and ski downhill. Again, choosing your variation that works for you. Some days my arms, they don't want to work separate. They want to work together. So we'll go paddle. We'll pedal together. Sometimes it's feeling strong. It's like, I got this. I don't need your assistance. What you mean? And then it's like it goes rogue and it wants to go by itself. Might have a little frustration. I need to work out and I need to punch a little bit. Like I'm a kickboxer or something. 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay, then our next one is our opposite elbow to knee. Again, we have different variations here as well. So the first variation we can do is take our opposite elbow and just have it meet our opposite knee. Okay, and then we're rotating. Okay, then we can switch. We can maybe get our hands and touch our opposite knees. Okay, that's option number 2. Option number 3, if you can extend the lever and go all the way down and touch your foot with your hands. Okay, and then you're alternating. Again, whichever one works for you, we'll go ahead and get the time started. If you've already started, please keep going and begin. Then for those that keep forgetting one, I always forget one. So for those that can do a little bit of movement with the legs, it's very important to try to get those hip flexors to work as much as possible. Because when we walk, run, jog, going upstairs, our hip flexors are involved. So you can have your leg just meet you in the middle if you want to. Okay, that's another variation that I always forget. But just pumping and dumping. So hands to knees, elbows to knees, hands to feet, or you can have your knees and elbows meet in the middle. 3, 2, 1, and stop. Awesome. Then we have one more in our cardio. And that is going to be our sit to stand or the swing arm. Okay. So swing arm is just literally taking your arms back as if you're in a swing and then swinging them up. Okay. That's one variation. Second variation is standing and then sitting, standing and sitting. Okay. Then the third variation is to just rock and maybe put a little pressure into your feet. You can actually kind of wiggle your toes while you're doing it as well. So like ball your toes up if you can to put pressure into your feet as you kind of rock back and forth. I'm not leaning completely over. I'm just literally just rocking to engage my toes a little bit. Okay. So keep going if you've already started. And we'll get this rocking and rolling. You get a jolt of energy and you're sitting or standing, go ahead and just jump up if you feel like it. Don't do it if you don't feel comfortable. Spirit might be moving in you around this holiday time, these holiday cheer, you know. Or we can swing arm. My legs might get a little tired or something, and I just want to move my body a little bit, swing my arms back and forth. Or I don't want to do that at all. As we get older, I'm telling you, like, I'm already young and I love a rocking chair. So I want to be able to move my rocking chair. So if I can't use my legs, I know I'll be able to use my torso to give me a good rock back and forth. Okay. Just a little one, just putting pressure, a little pressure into the legs. Three, 2, 1, and stop. Awesome. All right, now we'll get into our strength movements. Okay, we're gonna start with our shoulders. But before we do that, we're gonna take a couple of deep breaths. Bring our energy back down just a little bit, because again, we're doing HIIT training, high intense interval training. So we wanna get our RPE, which is on a scale of 1 to 10 to about a 4 to 8. So when we do our cardio, and then when we do our strength training, we want to try to get it down just a little bit. So a couple deep breaths. And that allows me to kind of cool off while I got this jacket on, this hat on, as I get prepared to run right back out the door. All right, so we'll do our shoulder circles going forward. So we're rolling our shoulders forward. Okay, we're hitting every point or every movement that our shoulders are able to do, our scaps are able to do. So as we go up, that's our elevation. As we go forward, that is our protraction. The arms go down, that's depression. As they go back, that is retraction. Okay. Rolling. And we run. Every time I say rolling, it's the first song that comes to mind. And we rolling, rolling on the river. I don't know how many rivers people are. Well, maybe they are. It's not that cold. They haven't froze over yet. And then we're going to throw them in reverse. So now we're going to go backward. See all the nice, pretty, naked trees. If it was still fall, it would be nice, pretty colors. See the nice evergreens. There we go. Maybe somebody has some Christmas trees by some water. All right. And relax. Awesome. All right, then we'll do our hand pulls. So we're interlocking like our bike chain. All right. What they say, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So we're making a pretty good link here. Very strong link. We're gonna try to pull it apart. Pull, 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 pull. Pull, pull, pull. Like pull pork. Really feel those shoulders engaged. And it doesn't matter how high or how low your arms or your hands are. Okay, you're getting a good pull. Actually, if you move them up and down, you'll feel a different sensation in your shoulders, in the rear part of your shoulders, because we're working the rear delts, those rhomboids. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, then we'll do our hand press. Fist into palm. Okay, and then again, we're pressing. This is our isometric contractions here. Okay, really pressing. Okay, I remember I was in grade school. They took us to go see the Nutcracker on ice. It's great. They didn't crack any walnuts and none of the ice broke. So I was a little disappointed. Like Nutcracker on ice, I'm see some walnuts break and some ice crack. But it was a good show. It was very memorable. 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, now we're going to do a different movement. We're going to do a let's see, a chest fly. Okay, but we're going to come up. So I'm going to come at an angle. So we're going to come up at an angle. And what I'm doing is I'm crossing my wrist. And then I'm going to bring them back down. And I'm going to alternate what hand comes up over top. So right now my right hand is over top. And then I'm going to lean back and have my left hand come on top. Okay. And that is also going to help for my stroke survivor. So your weaker side, the hand that's on top, you can give it a lift, or the hand that's on bottom is giving it a lift. Okay. And we're just alternating. So you're engaging your pecs. So squeezing up. And this is also a lateral, a front raise at the same time. So we're also working on lifting our arms to maybe drink a glass of milk while we eat our cookies this holiday season. And just alternate. Or if you need to, you can just interlock and lift both of them at the same time. Okay. Whichever one works for you. And relax. Awesome. Then we're going to do our push-pull movement. So our arms are here. We're pushing forward and then pulling back. Pushing forward and then pulling back. Push and pull. Push and pull. Imagine seeing one of those door signs. Oh my God, they get on my nerves. Where it says push, but it has a pull for the handle, or it says pull and it just is just flat. I don't know how that works, but the sign is always different from what you're supposed to do to get in the door. You can do both at the same time or one at a time. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, then we're gonna go to our legs. We'll do our leg squeeze. So we'll take our hands together. Our feet are separated. Okay, my knees are separated, they're apart. So my hands are gonna go right in the center of that. And then my knees are going to meet my hands while my feet are apart. And they're gonna squeeze. Okay. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. So this is engaging the internal part of your thighs. Okay. If this is a bit much, just try to work on trying to get them to meet. Okay. Imagine you're squeezing a melon, or you can do some some visualization. And then just imagine that you have a big watermelon in between your legs. You don't have a knife to cut it. And all you can do is use your legs to squeeze and bust it. Okay. And squeeze, 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 squeeze. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. You can close your eyes, do some imagery. 3, 2, 1, and relax. And then we'll do our weight shifts before we go back through. So our weight shifts is, again, is just lifting our hips up, side to side, shifting in our chair. Okay, if you want to get a little funky with it, you can shift to the front of your chair if you feel comfortable, and then you can just shift to the back. Okay, I find myself doing this when I sit in a deep couch and my feet are just hanging off the edge of a couch because I can't use my feet, right? Because I'm dangling. They're dangling. So I have to use my hips to slide to the front of the seat so I can stand back up. So this comes in handy. Okay, or you can just shift while you're sitting down. Just shift side to side. Imagine like you're standing on a balance board and you're just going back and forth, or a skateboard. Just imagine an imagination, and you're just going shifting, or shifting with some waves. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Couple deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then we'll go back through to our cardio. Okay, these next rounds, we're gonna try to take it up a notch, okay? I'll continue to give the modifications that I gave with the first set as we go through, but I won't do that as much, okay? So hopefully remember which one works for you, and that's where we'll work with, okay? So we're starting with our chair jacks, and begin. So again, let's get those RPE scales up to a 4 to 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay. It's a lot we can do here. Get those arms up, really get them pumping. Okay. Again, if the arms above head don't work for you, just take them down a little bit to maybe head or ear level. Okay, if that doesn't work, try to get those elbows up like your little chickie. Okay, it's okay. Just meeting yourself where you are. Okay, working it out for yourself. 15 seconds. Okay, all these movements are done for 60 seconds if you didn't know already. Pumping. So yes, you're getting a lot of great cardio, a lot of great movement. 3, 2, 1, and stop. All right, we're going to our skaters and begin. So we can roll your boat. Roll your boat. Really controlling with your core. Getting side to side. Okay, or we can do more of the actual skater movement, which is the punching motion. Or we can downhill ski. 15 seconds, keep it up, get those heart rates up. We're here for cardio, get that cardio going. We're going into another holiday, transitioning from Thanksgiving. 3, 2, 1, and stop. Then we're going to do our opposite elbow to knee. Okay, opposite elbow to knee. Can bend over, get that knee to elbow. We can get our hands to touch our knees. Or we can get our hands to touch our feet. where we can get a little busy with it and have our knees meet our elbows. 10 seconds. Or you can find another modification that works for you. And stop, okay? Whatever you're doing, just stay moving. Okay, we're gonna go to our sit to stand and our swing arm and begin. So we can swing our arms forward. Big movements, getting that heart rate up. Okay, or sit and stand, sit and stand, sit and stand. Okay, for my floppers out there, I'm a flopper during the regular day, but when I work out, I try to be a little more controlled. So I want you guys to try to do the same thing, be a little more controlled. Again, going at your own pace. Swing those arms. Swing those arms, or we're rocking. 5 more seconds. 2, 1, and stop. Awesome. Then we're going back to our strength training. So catch your breath. A couple deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Get those heart rates to come down just a little bit. Okay, so then we're going to interlock our fingers here, doing our pull aparts. And pull, 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 pull. Like tug of war. Tug of war, old school tug of war. Who's going? Who's going? I used to love tug of war on field day in elementary school. It wasn't a team that I wasn't on that won. I don't know if it was me or what, but 3, 2, 1, and stop. Then we're doing our presses, fist into palm, and press, 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 press. Battle of the forces. Good versus evil. Scorpion and freeze. UK, U of L. Well, obviously UK won in football. Oh, they demolished us. And 3, 2, 1, and relax. Then we're doing our chest flies. So we're lifting and making an X. Lifting to making an X. And we're alternating what hand comes over top. Okay, if this doesn't work, okay, you can interlock and just lift. And then the other alternative is just crossing over top without a lift from the bottom. Okay, you can just cross at the top. So straight across instead of adding a lift to it. Sometimes that lift can be a bit much. Like you're giving grandma a nice big bear hug. 3, 2, 1, or your grandkids a nice big bear hug. I forget that I'm so young. I'm young. And relax. And then push, pull. for your children. Okay, so push, pull. You get a hug, you get a hug, you get a hug. Okay, again, you can do one arm at a time. So while one arm is working, the other arm is kind of getting a rest. And it doesn't matter how far they extend out. It can be here. You're still working those muscles. Okay. It can be just a small movement. I don't know the name of the game, but it was where the two robots were fighting and they knock each other's head back. Their arms did not extend that far at all. And they always popped each other's heads off. So this is sufficient enough. And relax. All right, then we'll do our leg squeezes. So our knees are separated. Our feet are separated. Okay, and then our hands go in the middle. And then our knees come together while our feet still stay apart. Okay, and then we're trying to squeeze, 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 squeeze as we sit up nice and tall. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Or it doesn't have to be too tight on your hands. Okay, you're just trying to really get your knees to meet your hands. And again, imagination is key. Imagination is everything. If your legs won't move that far for you, again, close your eyes. Imagine that you have a big watermelon in between your legs and you gotta squeeze, 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 squeeze to try to bust that watermelon. Okay, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Recently my dad had a stroke himself, so he has to open jars sometimes with his legs. So he got to squeeze his legs, get that to turn the top with that strong hand. 3, 2, 1, and relax. And then we're gonna do our weight shifts. Okay, so going side to side. Now I don't know if he would be willing to come to do this. That would be interesting. But maybe one day we'll get him into one of these classes, keep him active. Lifting, and shifting, and shifting. Imagine you sat on like sat on a toy or sat on the remote and you got lift, you got to pull it from under you. And that's what we're doing here. And 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, so we're gonna go through the cardio one more time. Won't get to the strength training for a third time, but we're gonna go through the cardio one more time, and then we'll start our cool down. So take a couple deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Gearing those lungs up. And here we go, starting with our chair jacks. So give it all you got, okay? Because after this, we'll do our cool down. Body work. Be nice and toasty. So in case you got to go outside like myself, it'd be like a little oven while you're out in the cold. Yeah. Work. Work for me. Work for me. Or I'm a chicken. I'm a chicken. I'm a chicken. I'm a chicken. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Then our skaters and begin. You can punch, you can roll, can downhill ski. Don't see this one that often. Putting groceries away. I gotta rotate, I gotta turn. I'm in the kitchen. Got multiple pots going. Kids are running around crazy, screaming for the holidays. Can I open my presents? Can I open my presents? What's for dinner? 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and stop. Then we're going to our opposite elbow to knee. Opposite elbow to knee. Opposite elbow to knee. Or maybe I want to pick my knees up. Maybe I want to keep them down and just rotate my hands, get my opposite hands to knee. A little rotation. My sister, she always liked to do those little hand games. I could never keep up, but this is what that reminds me of. A little patty cake. 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay, our sit to stand. Or our swing arm. And begin. Sit to stand. Or swing arm. Or rock the baby. Rock the baby. Sit and stand. Sit and stand. 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1, and stop. I'll feel that later. All right, couple deep breaths, and then we'll begin our cool down. Feels good. All right. So again, this go around, we're going to do some of our stretches that we did to warm up, but I want you guys to take note of how your body feels. If it feels any different from the warm-up stretching that we did. Okay, so start with our hand on our shoulder, if you can, and then lean your head to the opposite ear. Or you can have the hands down by your side. Just lean the head over to the opposite shoulder, ear to shoulder, stretching trap out on this side. Or you can take your hand, go behind your back, and go ear to shoulder. And then now I'm stretching out this trap. Okay. So either of those 3 work perfectly fine. Now you want to be intentional about stretching out the trap and breathe deeply as you can, filling up those lungs, and then exhaling. And you want that breath to be the inhale to be as long as your exhale. And then again, just take note of how you feel. I don't feel as tense in my trap right now. Got blood flow. And then we'll return center and then switch sides. Again, if you need to, my right side is my weaker side, my stroke side. So I'll boost it, give it a little boost, get my hand there, and then allow my fingers to kind of grip my shoulder. Also works on grip as well, or you can keep that hand there to give it some support. Or again, hands down by the side, lean over. Or hand behind the back and then lean over, opposite ear to shoulder. Well, same ear to shoulder. Like, how am I get my opposite ear to my shoulder? 3, 2, 1. Return to center. Shake that out. Okay, then we'll do our side body stretch. Okay, again, you can interlock the hands, lift them above your head, and then lean side to side. Again, creating a C shape with our torso to the side that we're leaning to. So if the hands above interlocking are not comfortable for you, hands to your side, again, be a tea kettle and just pull the water out of your spout. Okay, creating a C. And then we're just holding each side for a few seconds before going to the opposite side. Okay. Or if that doesn't work, the hands don't have to be fully extended. Again, they can be anywhere in between. Again, just taking note of how your body feels. Is there any difference from beginning to end? And relax. Okay, then we'll do our cat-cow. I've done this one at the end before. Okay, so see if we got a little more flexibility in our spine. We're crunching over, allowing our head to drop forward, pushing our shoulder blades back, rounding the tops of our back a little bit, and then we're blowing our stomach out, pushing our chest forward so that our shoulders can go back, and then allowing our head to come up just a little bit. And then we return. And it's going back and forth. Okay, I don't feel as much tension in my shoulders and my shoulder blades that I did at first. They're nice and warmed up. Been moving a lot. And relax. Okay, then we'll do our torso rotation. Okay. Again, trying to just look both ways. As you rotate, exhale, then come center, you inhale, and then exhale. Inhale, exhale. All right, to get a deeper stretch, you can try to get your elbows to the back of your chair if you can. And again, take note how your body feels. My hips don't feel as tight here anymore. I feel like I could go back a little further, even though I know I can't. I would be having to rotate my hips if I wanted to go back anymore. But this feels really good. Three, two, one, and relax. Okay, then we'll do our hip flexor. No, we'll do a crossbody stretch first. Okay, so lifting our arm up, hand behind our elbow, then rotating our torso so that we don't pull our shoulder out of a socket. I feel a different stretch now than I did Monday. It's a little lower in my back. And relax, switch sides. Elbow behind, hand behind the elbow, then rotating to look the other way. Look the direction your hand or finger is pointing so that we don't pull shoulder out of the socket, and we're breathing. Again, take note of how you feel. And relax. Okay, then we'll do the last one, our hip flexor stretch. If you can, across here for guys that have been sitting and standing, working those legs. Okay. If you can lift your leg up and give it a nice hug. Let it know that you love it. That's what we're doing, showing our body, showing ourselves some love, taking some time for our health. And then we'll switch sides. Ooh, okay, I popped. And relax. Awesome. That's all I have for you guys today. You were wonderful. Give yourself a round of applause.